Real getaway up into fourth position and made an absolutely lightning start. So perhaps as we'd expected ahead of the field, it's leading the way, Neil Smith from Steve and Dimmock, and this is exactly the spread we expected from qualifying. The pair of them sprint away, then bringing everybody else in a hunt for third position. It's going to be very congested through Greville Bend for the first time. But there at the head of the queue is Paul Clark, although he has got a very mighty looking Ron Davison on his tail. Also got a little bit of defence going on from Louise West in the midfield.
And the person who's got the real problem here is Anthony George. He's just going past Sarah Heels as they go into 30s and on their way to McLaren, but he's got to overtake pretty well everybody before he can get onto the tail of Steve Dimmock. But it's Neil Smith who's rushing away at the front on his wet weather tyres, as is Steve Dimmock, and then big gap before we get Paul Clark now in third place, ahead of Ron Davidson, and then leading classes is James Thomas with the class 2 156 of John Griffiths just behind him, and then Dave Messenger.
Well, already John Griffiths has been went off. He said Martin was on, and he's very close. He's got a move, and up has gone John Griffiths. So Griffiths gaining the place. So he moves up the order. So unfortunately for James Thomas, he's the one who's demoted as Griffiths looks to make progress. Everybody else at the moment tiptoeing through. These really are actually quite atrocious conditions now. The circuit is completely awash, and so watching Neil Smith coming through, it reminds me a lot of the 2006 World Touring Car Championship meeting here, where we had the World Touring Cars surging through the very wet conditions. So he's got the advantage over Steve Dimmock. Then we have a long wait back into third place for Paul Clark. Wild by the rapidly improving John Griffiths.
Unfortunately, I think Anthony George has thought better of it all. He's going very slowly at the back of the field, about to be overtaken by Guy Hale. So I think that's the end of his race. Anthony George coming into the pit, which is really sad. And we've got coming up to the race with.
I think Neil Smith is long gone.
Indeed, yes, that was Steve Dimmock. So big is the gap. And then we've got Paul Clark in third place, John Griffiths now in fourth place, just ahead of Ron Davidson, and then leading class E is the 146 of James Thomas, just sort of looking as though he might go onto the grass a little bit, but he's now being chased by Dave Messenger, who went extremely well in qualifying this morning, and it's interesting to see if Dave can get on the tail of James Thomas.
Yeah, Dave Messenger is looking for a class victory here, and sixth place overall, and this is probably the most back on everyone. John Griffiths, who is looking to be making swim rows in Paul Clark. So across line goes Paul Clark now. He does a lap time of 1 minute 7.6. And then next man through is Griffiths, does 1 minute 6.4. So John Griffiths is really on the move in fourth position. The bright orange car chasing the blue one through Hamilton Bend. Shaping up very nicely. Also looking to see John Inman and his apologies holding his position as they turn to so look at this too long. Reeled in by John Griffiths, but makes sense to be massive fun for John Griffiths.
Nick Anderson is another one who's moving up the field. He's just passed Andy Inman, and he's now chasing Dave Messenger. The ground here, still very looking to be his sideline there, but there wasn't anywhere to go. And he's now gone past Dave Messenger. They have to modify Nick Anderson, and I don't think it'll be long before he gets ahead of James Thomas, and then he'll start taking Ron Davidson.
Yeah, so that's Volvo taking, I think, some of these drivers find their legs there, finding the track very much they're like. We have a change for third, because through goes John Griffiths on the inside of Paul Clark. So is Clark going to fight back or not? We shall see as they arrive in Palace. Yes, he does. He's very late on the brakes. John Griffiths has he seen Paul Clark coming in front? Yes, he has. He doesn't turn in and move across him, so Paul Clark can be showing not to making the point fairly clear. This next is the site of the Anderson chasing Ron Davidson. So Ron Davidson is wheeled into no time. But what would work really very much in favour of Nick Anderson is Paul Clark. He's start fighting by himself. That's what they're doing. Then back of it, it's going to label him and draw alongside, draw up to their tail, but we've got John Griffiths. Paul Clark, the only one towards 30. through he goes, up the inside, runs a little bit wide, goes full time, that's trying to keep the track position. It's going to be oh so close, they go to the speedway, because Paul Clark's still got the inside run, and John Griffiths gives Paul Clark enough racing room, but finally Griffiths is able to make that move stick, and that move is effectively the lack in the making as they accelerate on the Roman straight.
And the Class E battle behind is now between James Thomas and Dave Messenger, who's getting a little bit closer to James as they come out of clearways and onto pit straight, and in third place you've got Andy Inman, and then
so can we see the decisive moves there for John Griffiths to be able to start waiting for Clark? Well, we'll wait to see. So I think for both the Nick Anderson not around Anderson their tail in no time at all. John Griffiths racing very late in the set for advance. So through that enables him to build out that advantage at the very head of the field. Still flashing through the rain is Ron Davison. Ron Davison currently in sixth position, and still leading Class C is James Thomas. So once more got David Messenger coming onto his tail.
And Neil Smith already well into lapping of the Class E cars, and Emma Kawaki going a little bit better than she did in qualifying, and she's ahead of the fellow 147, the Class C car of Sarah Heels, who doesn't seem to be really at all happy in these conditions. And Nick Anderson, I'd put a bet on him actually catching Paul Clark and John Griffiths before the end of the race.
Well, he's got 13 minutes we wish to do it, so we're not even yet at half race distance, and this is looking quite good for him. It depends really how quickly John Griffiths can drive away from Paul Clark. Last time around with Griffiths, 1:05.424 for a broken patch possibly for Steve Dimmock, going for a time. Still Neil Smith, who leads by this fairly gigantic margin, already is up in amongst this Class C battle. That's David Messenger, then slides past David Thomas. All about Nick Anderson, what can you do? Well, yourself with Paul Clark in the last lap was 4.1 seconds. Well, the gap between Griffiths and Clark was only 0.8 seconds, so that gap has gone enormously. So Griffiths goes through, Paul Clark follows him over the line, and judging by my timing screen, I think that there may be some water in the works, because we are trying to just give up this as it's closing in as the race leader, Neil Smith, is just carving his way through. About 25 seconds green on the race leader, but look at his right to third. This is really where the excitement on track is going to be in a few moments' time, because John Griffiths is right over Paul Clark. It's not enough, I don't think, to have the race to the Anderson here, because like the those left half minutes left in the race, and the race is all 3 seconds away.
Yeah, he is, and there's a very good battle going on between Andy Inman and Chris Finch, but Steve Dimmock has got in the middle of that at the moment. But coming into Graham Hill Bend, Chris Finch was able to take advantage, and Andy Inman is now behind Chris Finch. Mel Healy, I think, could be a little bit disappointed about her position. Likewise, Emma Kawaki, who was the winner at Cadwell. And now Nick Anderson ahead of Paul Clark, so he's going after John Griffiths as they go up towards here.
You're just quite happy to take any championship points on offer by splashing around to the finish. That said, this has been a very clean race, with the exception of Andy George, who is still circulating. We haven't even seen any rotation. Well, he's having lapped everybody up to and including fourth position. So Neil Smith is hoping to close in on John Griffiths this time around.
And up at Druids, the Class E battle for third, fourth and fifth in the class. Very close between Andy Inman and Chris Finch. And now Mel Healy is closing up on that battle, and Chris Finch managed to lose out there to Andy Inman and Druids, and now Chris Finch is losing out